Missing stimulus. Where is Joe Biden's third stimulus package bill? This is the big question as we start a Tuesday morning. It's early mornings, LALATE. I'm here, you're here. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, but there's no Joe Biden stimulus bill. Millions of Americans and millions of viewers of this channel are wondering, where is the missing Joe Biden stimulus bill? And why is it being kept hidden from you? In this video, I go over why people think that the bill is being withheld on purpose and why the provisions in there may not be as we're being told. This is a major bombshell, and this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE. I'm here, you're here. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. And guess what? There is no bacon. But there's also no stimulus package bill. Where is it and why is it being kept hidden? In this video, we go over the details of this. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that alert button on the video and also like this video. This is now the 9-month anniversary of this channel. Yesterday, this channel turned 9 months old, and during that time have reached 375,000 subscribers. So please subscribe. We're trying to reach 400,000. Excuse me. Well, let's do 380 for now. Let's add another 5,000 people. So if you know anyone on the street corner who hasn't subscribed, can you shout out the window? I know it's early. Don't wake anyone up. But say, hey, can you subscribe to LALATE? I'd really appreciate it. Meantime, if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link to become a member is at the top of the chat, also in the pinned comment and in the description. Become a Purple Power, Purple Hawk, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, over there is an instant premiere. This is an instant premiere always featured at the 6 a.m. edition and the continuation of this show at 6:30. If you've not watched EIDL and PUA on Overnight to LALATE, watch them as well. They went live right before this video. And with that, there's so much happening. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here this morning, is that there's no bill. There is no third stimulus package bill. And yeah, we have an emoji for this. It's not bill yet, but it's not written as a bill yet. Or is it? We were told over a week ago that Joe Biden has written the third stimulus package bill. Janet Yellen, his Treasury Secretary, said that. So why has the American public not seen this bill? And it comes on the heels of wondering why the items in the third stimulus package are so vaguely explained to us. We know nothing about no less than 85% of the bill, except that there's something in there about something. In the video after this, I go over that lack of clarity as to what is in the bill. People have been asking me, what about this? I say, I don't know because he won't tell us. Now, that is the first item that's clearly at issue. The items, the bill itself, and it's missing from public view. Also certainly missing is the lack of clarity about subject matters that were promised to be front and center on day one. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and Veterans benefits were detailed extensively by Joe Biden's transition papers as getting stimulus relief. $200 a month on top of their existing benefits from now to December. But since then, since those transition papers in December, not a single word. Not a single word? Now, as I said to viewers last night, understand that you're not being forgotten only. Everyone's being forgotten. Every single person is being forgotten. Whether you're a business grant or an adult dependent, you're not being really told much of anything in the stimulus package publicly. You're just being told, there's a bill and we're going to get to you. That's not particularly acceptable. Yesterday, President Biden's press secretary was asked about what's the update on the stimulus package. She said, I hope that there will be progress in a few weeks. What? You hope that there will be progress in a few weeks? So what's going on now? There's no progress or there's no work? Joe Biden confirms that he's now calling people up to talk about the bill. That is not what we were promised. Joe Biden ran on a platform that on day one, the stimulus package bill would be on his table ready to sign. We were specifically told it would be introduced to the House, which is Democrat, his party's in control, would be passed by the House without any problems, go to the Senate, which that if the Democrats took the Senate with Warnock and Ossoff, the Georgia 2 Senate races, that it would pass the Senate, and then land on the president. And then if the Senate is not taken by the Democrats, then the bill would be tailored back and made more narrow. Well, those Georgia Senate races were won by the Democrats. The House has not talked about a stimulus package bill. And in fact, Nancy Pelosi has not spoken about stimulus since Joe Biden has been elected. So what's going on here? Last night I asked viewers, what do you think about what's going on? The bill has been written, we've been told by the Treasury Secretary to Joe Biden. So if it has been written, then why has it not been shown publicly? Why is it being kept hidden? Why is it being kept secretive? Why has it not been introduced to the Senate floor, to the House floor? One viewer had a fascinating comment. Nancy doesn't like it. Now, what makes this comment fascinating is that it's actually been repeated in broadcast news in the last 24 hours. There's a series of reports of unnamed groups in the Democratic Party that are unhappy with the $1.9 trillion price tag and the provisions and think it's way too small. For that, I asked viewers last night, well, what do you think Nancy thinks of a bill that says $400 a week of FPC? When she said all throughout 2020, it has to be at least $600 a week. I will not take a penny under $600 a week. Now that her party is in control, why would she do exactly less than something she said for nearly 8 months of 2020? Viewers that were asked that question, they said, no, she wants $600 a week. Nancy would never accept $400 a week from Joe Biden. She's probably rejected $400 a week. She wants $600. The problem at hand is the lack of urgency. The problem at hand is the secrecy. The problem at hand is that there's a bill and we're not being shown it and we're not being told what's going on. Before we even get to the substance of the bill, which is the video after this, on the video after this, I go to the substance of the bill. What are the deal provisions? What are the deal items? How do they work? And what's good and what's bad? Before we even get to that problem, there's a problem of why has this not been done and why has the bill not been shown to us? Viewers have absolutely no idea, and nor do I. The issue is that the bill could be done. The issue is the bill has to be done urgently. And the issue is that everything else is being done but this. Yesterday, Joe Biden talked about a new stamp that he's very excited to launch. A new stamp. Congratulations. Is the stamp being launched so you can send us a stimulus check? Oh, no, it's not. No. Then he talked about giving billions of dollars to South American countries right away. That's really nice. Are they going to be sending us the stimulus check? No, it's stimulus for them. That's not stimulus for us. And he talked about a lot of other things like clean air and clean air and clean air. I'm sorry, but the air was not healthy last week and the air might not be healthy next week. But we can live with some dirty air for a few days if we got some stimulus. That's how stimulus works. Joe Biden, when he ran and when he was elected, said that during the Obama administration, they came in at the collapse of the financial industry because the savings and loan industry had collapsed. Banks were going under, and we had to move urgency and get things done right away. And they did. They did them within just days. Those were banks, corporate America, rich people, big banks, big money. You, not so fast. Smaller people, individual people, people on Social Security, veterans. Oh no, no mention about you whatsoever since being elected, but a lot of mention about you to get elected. Not particularly fair. Now, the messaging of this video is very clear. You're going to get the items he so indicated, but the question is, why is he dragging his feet? And the messaging is when and how and why not have you shown us the bill? Yesterday, one viewer asked me, why should he show you the bill? He should show us the bill because he's not told us what is in the bill. About 2 weeks ago on a Thursday evening, he had a primetime press conference to talk about the bill. And during that primetime press conference, he talked about 3 items in the bill. And after that press conference, viewers reached out and said, that's not a good press conference. He didn't talk about much. I said, hold up, maybe there's more in the bill than the 3 items. It was a very vague overview of a press conference. Thereafter, we got the 30-page summary on this channel that gives a summary of the 6,000-page bill. And that summary gave us more items, about 22 of them. Good. Now we're getting some progress. We've seen some items. But the items were vague. And the items were presumed to be vague because we were going to get the details shortly thereafter. It's just, you're warming us up. We're going to get the details in a day or two. We're at week 2. We haven't seen any more details than we had the first day. Now people are wondering, is this part of a pattern? Is this part of a pattern to not show much of anything and not do much of anything? And the problems don't stop there. At the 11-minute mark, I'm going to be going over some of your comments to what's going on in the situation. 501 of them coming up shortly on this video. You may hear your comments and questions answered on air coming up in a second. But before that, I want to go over another problem, which is first stimulus, which is law, and second stimulus, which is law, has not been paid. And it's his job as the president to ensure that prior stimulus packages that have not been paid get paid. I'm not even talking about things that are proposed as law. These are laws. They haven't been paid. First stimulus, not been paid out yet, is the EIDL grants for 2020 low income. They're supposed to be pending. They're not being paid yet. Also pending to be paid, EIDL grants for non-low income. They're supposed to be pending after the low income. Not even being pending be paid yet. Let's turn to second stimulus. On the second stimulus, we were told last week that he would be paying out rent and utilities and free internet and childcare shortly. Have you heard about anything about that since? No. Have states gotten this money since? No. Why do we keep on hearing about things that are going to happen and nothing happens? This is his administration. This is his money to oversee. This is his states and local that need to get the money. They haven't gotten it to run your rent and grant program. The second stimulus package also had 2 other provisions: EIDL low income 2021 grant applicants and EIDL agricultural grant applicants. Neither of those programs have money to fund those grants. They're law, and yet there's no money to fund them. Has he addressed this problem? Of course not. No. So what is your comment about the situation? Let me turn to some of the 501 comments you had to yesterday's video. Peter Ruiz, the politicians are trained to do their best to convince the American people what may soon transpire, but it's only talk. They have a different agenda, obviously! Exclamation point. Very well said, Peter Ruiz. Estella Gonzalez, we're going right back to the way it was before! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Wow. Nothing has changed, just different people. I agree. It smells like 2020. That the only difference was in 2020, we always thought that there was a reason things weren't moving. We thought there was Nancy trying to prevent Trump from being reelected. She's trying to block so Trump would not get reelected. People would be upset that there wasn't any stimulus. This time, why is it happening? We understand it is happening, but why is it happening? Louise Daniels, they sure can talk the talk, but they can't walk the talk. People need the stimulus, says Louise Daniels. Valerie Williams Ransom. Good morning, everyone. The promises every day, they promise everything under the sun before they get into office. But once they do, it's a whole different story. Emoji. Jose Alpelez's. Pelosi's with us or against us? Against us? Yes, she is. So why bother living the life they want? It's time to live our lives and band together like it was 30 years ago. Real freedoms. Mr. Rose. Should be a vote by the people on every executive order. We're the boss, after all. Well said. Kelly Mosk, the Democrats are too worried about the impeachment of a former president, eliminating jobs and putting a halt to the border wall to bother with helping Americans. Shannon Elizabeth, Pelosi has never been for the people. Well, last night I asked that question to viewers. I said, do you think Nancy really wanted to give you $600 a week of FPUC? And the viewers said yes. So do you think Nancy really likes Joe Biden talking about $400 a week of FPUC? Viewers said no. Viewers thought that Nancy may have told Joe, I'm not doing this darn bill. This is not something I agree to. Why is it not $600 a week? What is this junky $400 a week of FPUC? Anthony Bauer, he needs to get it done. referring to Biden. Thank you, Anthony. I agree. Michael Williams, and this is certainly exactly the reason why the Democrats can never stay in power and never need to be in power, because they do not know how to operate a power complete hot mess. The Hot Mess Express is back. Christine Serrano, when will the people on SSI get the third stimulus check? ? Well, let's recap. There's no bill, there's no law, and there's no mention of you or any else of us. So anytime soon, certainly not this week. Matthew Vincarelli, it's been proven that all this stuff was made law means nothing. Trump signed stimulus into law 1 month ago already. And there you go. What do you think today's video? Why do you think Joe Biden is not showing you the stimulus bill? Do you think the bill is really existing, or do you think that was also untrue? And why is the bill not being done quickly? Why is it just sort of meandering and other things like stamps and clean air at the top agenda for the Biden administration currently? Drop in the comments below. I love to hear your comments. I'd like to hear your insight, and I may feature them in tomorrow's recording. Meantime, I'm back in just a few minutes with a continuation of Early Mornings LALATE, in which I go over the items in the third stimulus package and why we know so little and why they're so incorrect. Join me. Make sure you subscribe, hit that alert button, like this video, and become a member. Click the power link to join. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay in LA for more.